Hello, class. We are back with more hats. Yes, it is Hat Week at Mary Help of Christians Academy. World history, really, world hats. Okay? And I've got some good hats for you today. They're not all in this video, but just wait until we watch the Waterloo video. The hats are out of this world. You're going to love it. Okay, so it's Hat Week. And, all right, where did we leave off? Where's Napoleon? He's at his island of his first exile. And that is Elba, which is right off the coast of Corsica, which is where he was born. What's he going to do? Do you think a guy like Napoleon's going to sit around the whole time? Or do you think he's going to make his escape? Well, the answer should be obvious. He's going to make his escape. He's not going to sit around. The people of France, if we remember, after the revolution, after all this stuff, there's another King Louis in charge. So Napoleon learns about that the French are not happy with this, and he gets help. Whoops, and guess what? He's back. Okay. And L'Enjambé Impérial. I don't know what that means. Imperial something. But if you can see, here's basically Elba. And he's stepping across, and here's France. We're in the age of political cartoons now, too. One thing to always note is the size of a person means the more power that they have. So this indicates Napoleon is very powerful, since he can basically hop across the Mediterranean Sea. And these are all the monarchists of France and other countries pretty upset that he is back. And of course he has the tricolor flag here with him and a sword ready for battle. So yes, he is. This is March of 1815. He escaped Elba, meets up with his army. So I don't know how he somehow recruits another big army. It seems like there's this unlimited number of soldiers, but whatever. Okay, who can find the error in this slide? Actually, I just noticed it. Oh no, it's not an error. Sorry, King Louis XVIII. That is correct. He runs away. Napoleon is emperor once again. And now we have what are called the 100 Days. He reorganizes his empire. He wants to get everything back into control. And his classic opponents, the British, the Prussians, the Russians, the Austrians, the ones that beat him at Leipzig after the disaster of Russia, they unite to fight him again. As well as he knows, basically the rest of Europe is coming for him also. At this point, he's basically angered everyone, except his French troops and a lot of the French people. So Waterloo, I'm going to assign this video for you to watch. This is the one where, if I have to sum up Waterloo in one phrase, the hats are amazing. So just, yeah, there's just one, yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but just you wait. It's toward the end. You got to watch the whole thing. You will be rewarded. Anyway, Battle of Waterloo. This is Napoleon's worst and final defeat. We had a great video of this with Leia and Litzy. And yeah, you're going to watch in the video how the Battle of Waterloo took place, but it's super famous. Waterloo has gone into common terms as like someone's like worst failure. So yeah, we have this basically one big battle. Napoleon loses, and they, instead of sending him close, they send him to St. Helena. Does it even say it on here? I don't think so. Anyway, he's not getting off here. End of life Napoleon. He becomes a devout Catholic. So that's a big change from, the French Revolutionary kind of destroying church spirit. Not that he was really involved in that. Actually, I don't even know. But he ended up being a catechist for the end of his life. And then he died 6 years later, and they think it's stomach cancer. But in the 1820s, it's kind of hard to tell. Okay, moving forward. Yes, so here is the island of St. Helena. It's closer to Africa than to South America, but it is in between the both of them. Yeah, and so from this place, Napoleon's not going anywhere. cartoon. Here we go. This later is going to be an assignment for you to watch and write little. You have to take a side. Napoleon's Wow. Napoleon's legacy. It's super complicated. So again, some really good things, and also this should say plunged the continent into warfare for 10 years. Hundreds of thousands of people died because of Napoleon. One thing here you can't argue with, he did prove the common man was capable and should be respected. Because remember, what were his origins? He came from an average family, nothing special, and he became an emperor. And so he pretty much proved this whole divine right of kings and that you had to be born into the aristocratic class. That's not the truth. So, yeah, he elevates the common man. He became a hero to them. Again, hundreds of thousands of lives lost in the process. So this is part of what you're going to write about in History versus Napoleon video. You're going to pick a side. And he was as great as man can be without virtue by Alexis de Tocqueville. So he was a great man, but he wasn't a great guy, is kind of what that's saying. Great man in history, but maybe in person not such a good individual. Okay, the next thing we have the Congress of Vienna, so 1815. They started meeting while Napoleon was in exile at Elba. They kind of took a pause during, for Waterloo, and then when they come back, they're going to do some things in Europe. Remember the sans culottes? Those without knee breeches. I can't talk today. These are the knee breeches that we were talking about, that are a sign of the wealthy. Okay, so they want to redraw the map of Europe. Basically, they're worried France might go nuts again and attack everybody. So they want all the countries around France to have enough power that France can't ever, do what they did again. So this is what we call a balance of power. And yeah, these are the old regimes, or in French, remember this? Beginning of the French Revolution, this is what they were rebelling against, old regime. So yeah, after Napoleon's gone, a lot of the old monarchs are restored to their thrones as if nothing had ever happened. Okay, this should not be in red. It's just the Holy Alliance. So again, these four countries which are always against Napoleon, they enter what's called the Holy Alliance, which is interesting because it's not like they're all the same religion, right? England. Let's do a little quick check. What's their religion? Religion in England. Church of England. Prussia, to be honest, I'm not sure. Probably Protestant, some form of Protestantism. Austria is a mixed bag of Catholic and Protestant. And then Russia. What is the dominant religion in Russia? Eastern Orthodox Christianity. So it's not like they are, well, whatever. It's just kind of an interesting name. But yeah, if they kind of form an alliance that if one gets attacked, many others are, an attack, Hat Week is just throwing me off. An attack on one is like an attack on all. This is the thing here. Now, this is a key concept. An attack on one is an attack on all for two reasons. Number one, respite. This means like a respite, a break. So if you know that if you attack one of them, all of them are going to come after you, then you're not likely to attack any of those countries in the alliance. And the other thing is that this sort of an attack on one is an attack on all. This sort of alliance system comes into play during World War I, big time. And then after World War II, when NATO is formed, it pretty much, during the entire Cold War and stuff, we're going to get into that, but that's the principle that NATO is founded on. The United States is a part of NATO. It's North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And an attack on one is an attack on all. So, for instance, when the United States was attacked on September 11th, and it was found out that Osama bin Laden was most likely in Afghanistan, it wasn't just the U.S. that invaded Afghanistan. It was all these other countries in the NATO alliance. except for France, ironically. And back then, at diners, they stopped serving French fries and they called them freedom fries because they were angry at the French. I'm getting way off topic, okay? But anyway, we have this Holy Alliance formed. This is the map activity you did last week, so I'm going to skip over this guy. Okay, the Congress of Vienna went a little bit too far, right? So they're obsessed with maintaining control. That the common man who is like, oh, Napoleon's my hero, they're like, nah, you don't count. And then many ethnic minorities living within the borders were sort of lumped together. So if we go back here, for the German Confederation has all these different areas sort of lumped together. It's kind of weird, but basically it's this idea of you're drawing lines not around where different communities live, but around where you think people should live, if that makes any sense, or where you think the country should be. And so what this is the reaction to this, which was a reaction to Napoleon, is nationalism. So Europeans, so the Polish, the Serbians, the Italians, the Hungarians, they didn't have their own countries yet. They lived under control of usually somebody else, and so they said, Italy should be a country, Poland should be a country, Serbia should be a country, Hungary should be a country. Our ethnicity should be the borderlines, not what some people at the Congress of Vienna decided to do. And so the Austrian Empire has the Germans are the ruling ethnic group, but you have Slavs, Italians, Hungarians, and so we have nationalist revolutions in Europe. So again, pay attention to that term nationalist. I'm going to give you an assignment on Friday. We're going to talk about that. Quick preview. We're going to listen to some music. Okay, that's the techno remix of the Italian national anthem. But we're going to analyze the Italian national anthem to look for nationalism. So just a couple that happened here. In 1820, the Greeks become independent from the Ottoman Empire. So Greece becomes a country. 1860, Italy becomes a country. They have to defeat the Austrians. And there's this funny line in the Italian national anthem. It's like, any Austrian that kills one of us, they should choke on our blood. Like this, it's like serious stuff. But again, we'll do more nationalist stuff end of the week. And 1870, finally, Germany becomes a country. Within 100 years, it's going to be involved in 2 major world wars. But yeah, Germany finally becomes a country. So the point here is all of this stuff is a reaction to the reaction against Napoleon. So we have Napoleon, the Congress of Vienna, and then rising nationalism. And this is Giuseppe Garibaldi. He was the leader of the Italian independence movement. And then World War I is nationalism is one of the main causes. We're going to see the Austrian Empire be destroyed. So the Habsburg family is here. The Ottomans, who've been around for a while, they get destroyed. And a lot of new countries form. The other thing that Napoleon inspired, also that the American Revolution inspired, were revolutions in Latin America. And so that's our next slideshow is going to be, we're going to start with the Mexican Revolution. We're going to go into South America, and here we have, what happened? Sorry about that. Simón Bolívar. When tyranny makes the law, rebellion is your right. I think that's what that says. My Spanish is not that great. Anyway, that's it for now. This video is probably too long. But remember, next video, hats.